So, my dear Taurus, the sun is now in Sagittarius and giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign. And you had last time your full moon. That means now we're going back to the new moon, which is to the left. And so I placed the fifth major arcana here before the 14th major arcana because we're going to the left. Remember that when we look at this combination, we see always the soul aspect here because these are the major arcanas. And we see, of course, so many structures. And we see, of course, numbers, right? So we have here 3 people, and here we have 1 person with 2 cups. There is also a 3 inside here, and the 3 is always the Empress. Is always Venus, which rules you, right? And Venus is beauty, is love, is this aspect in us that wants this life to be in a really beautiful way being lived. And the tarot is giving us tools how we can do that. And that's the blending. Or here, that's the teaching, right? There is a red school and a white school. And in there is this triangle, again, a triangle pointing up to the higher consciousness. And then the triangle that's pointing down is always that understanding of, well, things also must come down, right? We cannot go only in one direction. And we can unite the dualities so that we can come into the union. And in the union, there is no more duality. And so you see here the 5 and the 14. In the 14 is the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, which rules Sagittarius, right? That's Jupiter. And Jupiter is the expansion in being a guardian angel, being grand. And the 4 inside is the Emperor, are also the 4 elements, and the 14 calculated together is the 5. So we have a 5-5 portal right away that is letting you know the 5 senses. Become creative in the way you're using the 5 senses. The sun is the self-expression that we bring to the world. In how much have we understood that blending duality makes us really a guardian angel. And of course the moon, which is in your sign, is how much are we coming out of the subconscious, evolving through our intuition, through the knowing that there is always more, that there is always a higher aspect to all of it, right? Coming out of the deep waters, passing the 2 towers, the dualities again, the black and the white dog, or the wolf and the dog, etc. And so here we learn through our feelings to listen what is wanting here to talk to you. The yoga position for Sagittarius is Paschimottanasana. When I bow down to myself, I will find deep within that I am the guardian angel. And for you, it is the movement. I reach up to the heavens, and when I come down, I bring the information to the people. And as such, then I am this inspiration. I am a teacher, right? And so this is talking today to you, and we will of course look at Venus, right? Venus again is the Empress, this beautiful woman that just creates, right? Gives birth to new things. You are the King of Pentacles. You are looking to the left. Remember, when a person looks to the left, it looks from the outside that he's going to the past or going within, but when then the person becomes the card, you see that he is actually looking without, from within to the without. If your birthday is between April 10th and May 9th, then this is your court card, right? You are the 2nd zodiac sign, as such also connected to the 2nd house of resources and worth. And you are as Taurus, the sensuous one. You love food, you love good things, right? And as such, you entitled to also create them, right? And you are someone that when you create something, it has to have self-worth in it. So Scorpio Sun gave you Taurus full moon. What's love got to do with it? You may ask yourself. Well, everything. And so here you had a big reading, right? We had the sun and the moon, and we had Venus, and of course we had you as a court card, and also you as the Hierophant, right? So we had 5 stations there. And I'm just gonna look if there is a card reoccurring or repeating itself, and I do see one is coming back, and I think that's it. There's one card coming back, and so we will see why that is happening. Now understand that we are going back to the left, right? We were reading 6 months to the right, and to the right we're going to the outside, we're going to our opposite sign, right? Scorpio Sun, which gave you the light, and now we're going back to the left, we're going back within, and so understand that the reading goes to the left. We will look today into the big title, which is Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto brings the shadow side. Pluto ruled Scorpio, and Scorpio back then was giving you the light and is your opposite sign, right? So for you, you are gonna be affected by where Pluto is now in the next 20 years, and Pluto in the tarot is here the last judgment, the calling, the wake-up call, the new zeitgeist, right? And Pluto is in Aquarius from the 19th of November. He is now fully in that sign, and we will see the change. And the 20 here is significant, right? Because Pluto is going to be 20 years in Aquarius, and so this is going to be a very powerful time, right, to awaken to new possibilities. We're going to look into the Lifruma Healing Oracle, because the Lifruma Healing Oracle has all the rune letters. It's a rune deck, and in there we find the connection back to Scorpio. Scorpio is for me Odin, and Odin was hanging on the world tree and was getting the rune alphabet, right? After 9 days hanging on the tree upside down, he was like, I have here the information how we can communicate. That's how it started, right? So the card that is appearing here is leaf shade cradled. Here you see the letter, here you see the number, the 48, and you see right away the 4 is the Emperor, the 8 is the strength, right? Have the strength to be someone significant, to be someone that understands that the 4 is also the heart, and the 8 is the guardian angel above us, right? The halo. Calculated together, we get the 12, that's the hangman. And the hangman is Neptune. And it seems to me that here is already the next title, right? Because Neptune is moving towards the cosmic split. And that cosmic split is when the sun is again beginning a new year, which is in Aries, right? And Aries is the 4, is the Emperor. And so when we calculate the 12 together, we get the 3. The Empress is appearing here. So you always want to calculate the numbers together. You always want to come to a single digit number, right? With the single digit numbers, we can come into the center, even though an 8 or a 7 has still a path up our spine, right? But that's what's so beautiful when we work with numbers. In the end, we have 0, right, which is actually not a number, but we have 1 to 9, and then the rest of the numbers are just combinations. And so I'm just going to read you this card. Cradled neath the comforting branches of trees, stretching, providing peace, shelter, wisdom, and direction. Contemplate the rate at which a tree breathes and lives. Join its calming pace by allowing nature's healing to kiss us all deep inside. Healing herbs and tinctures are shared with us by plant spirits, whispering on a sultry breeze under their sacred shaded foliage. So you find in nature the empowerment to be the Empress, because she gives birth, and you see very clearly here comes a strong message to you. What is Aquarius saying? And Aquarius is bringing you the King of Swords. Now in this deck, what's so beautiful is we have a masculine and a feminine king, and a masculine and a feminine queen, right? And so here you get really the King of Swords, and that's Aquarius. So very clearly you understand that Pluto is in Aquarius, and there is a new time coming where you need to be clear. Birds find shelter in the tree, and this is an 11. So the 3rd of November or the 11th of March could be the date here. Understand that here this bird is covering his right eye, and the right eye is the logical eye, and you see that his sword is actually, as a samurai, never used unless he has no other choice anymore. And so in the mental aspect of the King of Swords, we understand that when it gets overwhelming, right, the 11, a portal in itself where we can transport into another dimension, in nature we can actually achieve that. Nature is so old, and nature has the capacity to take our lives, and as such we need to really work with nature. And so the message is quite clear, right? Pluto is in Aquarius, and you find your empowerment always in nature, particularly in the way you think. So what is the King of Swords saying? And you get the 4 of Pentacles, which is the Sun in Capricorn. In the next reading we have Sun in Capricorn, and so we already get a glimpse to where it is heading, where it is going, right? The 4 of Pentacles is always that moment where we maybe have put ourselves into the safe house, into the number 4, into the squareness of life, and we realize now that we are actually imprisoned in that squareness. And so here the 3 and here the 4, when we calculate them together, because the 11 I leave as a portal, we get a 7. And the 7 is the emotional intelligence here in our crown chakra, right? To know that the 3 and the 4 coming together, I am empowered. I understand that the Emperor and the Empress together create new opportunities. And so here the 7 is clearly letting you know, observe and watch how you sometimes maybe put yourself into your own prison. Now the 7, right, also gets, of course, the 20, because this is all under Pluto, under the calling, and the 20 and the 7 is the 27. There we get a 9. There is a completion, the 9 of November or the 11th of September could be a date as well. So watch and observe and see that you do not want to block yourself, right? You do not want to be in an imprisonment, in that squareness. So combine it here with nature, right? Remember, nature never creates really a border, right? It's ridiculous. All the astronauts that have been up in space have looked at the Earth and realized, what are we doing, right? Why are we creating borders? Why are we actually fighting each other? We should be living together. We should be thriving. We should be happy that everybody thrives. And it's kind of that perspective what Aquarius is giving you, because Aquarius is the star. And so start going higher up into this consciousness that sees from high above. So we see then the King of Pentacles, right? That's your court card. That's your physical form. Comes here the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands are all three fire signs, and that's Aries, that's Leo, and that's Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is giving you the light right now, and so that's the Knight of Wands, right? Aries is the Queen of Wands and Leo is the King of Wands. So here we have the young generation that is saying, well, take action, go out there and see that the second zodiac sign, and these three people are a 5. And so here again, you are coming up with the 5 senses. You are realizing that the 5 senses hold us here, right? Also a little bit in an imprisonment, right? The 4 senses, and then here the 5th sense is she, right? So that's where we get the liberation through the voice, through the space, and then comes the 3rd eye, right? The 6th sense. So here we have a 5. Observe how this young generation is looking to the left, but we know that they are both looking out to the right and want to actually make sure that the self-worth is in the way I take action in this life. That's what is gonna create, of course, new adventures. What is coming from the Mother Piece Tarot? We get the Daughters of Cups to the left. And that's all 3 water signs. Now this is interesting, right? You get here a 33. And that is mastery. Master the young generation, because here we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And so it's really interesting. We have the fire and the water aspect, and that's exactly here the blending. The blending is bring the fire and the water together, bring the masculine and the feminine together. And that's what duality is all about, right? When we think about duality, it's like, how am I on earth putting fire and water together? It's almost impossible, right? Because one will annihilate the other. And so here we have a 33. Here we have the empowerment, the mastery through the young generation. Now here this generation is pointing to the left, the way he also is looking to the left. If it would have come upright, right, she's looking out to the right, but here she's actually looking up to him. And so this is the water aspect. The water aspect can only go up into the clouds when there is warm weather, and that's what the fire element brings, right? And then it rains again, it comes down, right? And so there is a really beautiful cyclical energy that is talking here to you, and you get the 33. That's mastery over here these 3 zodiac signs and these 3 zodiac signs. It's almost like you have it all figured out, and you're working with the young children that are learning to incorporate all the other zodiac signs, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's about learning to see that you have 11 other zodiac signs, right? You might be a Taurus, right? Born under the sun in Taurus. And you are also the other 11 zodiac signs. And that's maybe what here the King of Swords is bringing to you, right? See all 11 zodiac signs like you. Incorporate them and don't bring yourself into this defense kind of position, right? I don't really want to be connected with the others. It's, you know, they're so different and I don't like that. And I only like people like me. So here, that's the mastery that is talking here to you, right? And the 33 very clearly as a portal, we leave that as such. So that's what actually the King of Pentacles is getting as an information. Then we look into the Empress. The Empress is getting the World. Now the World is Saturn, and we see the 0, and we see the number 1, and that's a 10. We also see Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So here you are with your opposite sign, right? And here we have Aquarius with its opposite sign, Leo. And Aquarius came because the King of Swords is here to tell you something. And he says, don't become dependent on things that are fixed, right? That's what the square is all about. Now we have the 21 here, and we have the 20 inside, right? The last judgment, we have Pluto in there, because Saturn and Pluto are outer planets, right? There are generational planets. They're not personal planets. And so you see that they're out there, right? And the 20 is actually letting you know, well, we got to learn to awaken to a bigger perspective here in the world, right? And so the 1 inside is the magician, and the magician is Mercury, is the information. When you get the information, right, you understand that then the 21 is a 3 and the Empress is a 3. So you have again a 33. So now you have 4 times the 3. 4 times the 3 is the heart. Have the heart to understand that empowerment lies deep within all of us. And so here comes a really beautiful message, right? Bring this love and beauty and financial stability to the whole world, right? And so you know that that's hard to do, but we can start one person at the time. What is the world saying? The world is saying that the Queen of Pentacles is coming. The Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn, and Capricorn was here, Sun in Capricorn. So we understand clearly that the next reading is going to be significant for you, right? Because you have the Sun in Capricorn, and you have now the Queen of Pentacles here, your pendant, right? So maybe this is a friend, maybe this is something you need to integrate more to become more feminine instead of this masculine energy, right? And so the 2 and the 10th zodiac sign together is the 12, the Hanged Man, again Neptune, and the 3 appears out of there. The Venus, right, energy that we know is so beautiful. So here we have a 3, and here we have a 10, that's the 13. That's Scorpio, that's death, that's transformation. That is happening all the time. Together we get a 4, and the 4 again is that stability that we do not want to be imprisoned in. What is the Queen of Pentacles saying? She's bringing you the King of Wands. That's a Leo, and the Leo is right here in the world, right? And so he's the 5th zodiac sign, so the 10 and the 5 is the 15. That's Capricorn again. Capricorn, the devil, the attachment, or the being cut off from the world, right? And so here the world is Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn, and so the 15 turns into a 6, and the 6 is self-love. So you have 2 people that are helping you to love yourself more and more, right? The 6, and here the 3 is the 9. A completion is coming here to you. There is a message that is letting you know, observe the world through the eyes of Capricorn in the next month, and learn through Capricorn to be someone that can also be passionate and playful and joyful. What is Leo saying? Leo is bringing you the 2 of air, and the 2 of air is the 2 of swords, and that's Moon in Libra. And Libra, of course, as an air sign, is bringing you become someone that finds its equilibrium here in the duality. You see these two birds, you see this dance. There is a peacefulness and understanding. One bird is up, one bird is down, and it's constantly moving. It's like the yin and the yang, right? Not one is more empowered than the other. We always have the interconnection of both of them, and that creates the whole. That's creating the circle, right? We see here a half of the circle, and we see here the front of the half of the circle. And remember, her body is going to the right, but her head is turning to the left, so there is a closure within it. And so the 6 and the 2 is the 8. The strength, right? Have the strength that you see here in the leaf shade, right? In the trees, in nature that is coming to you. And know that the 48 is a 12. And in that 12, you're learning very clearly that the letting go is really important. And so here we have the 11. A portal is talking here to you, and as such you know that the world is going through a transformation, because Pluto was 15 years, look at this, 15 years, here's the 15, in Capricorn, and it affected all of us. And Leo is the opposite of Aquarius, right? And now Pluto is in Aquarius, but that means we need to integrate also Leo. And so this is why we have here Taurus and Scorpio opposite each other, Leo and Aquarius, and here you have Leo and Aquarius. So it's a direct sign that is saying you need to integrate the opposite. You need to learn that everything has its empowerment and its sign. And so you see the 11 is the portal that is talking here to you very clearly. Okay, now we continue. What is your deck bringing? It's bringing you here the 5 of Pentacles, and that's Mercury in Taurus, and that's for you clearly the sign that you need to figure out your self-worth, right? Here we see that they're walking into the world. They are of the world, but somehow they are not going into this portal, right? There is a big door, there is a window, but they're passing, and they could come out of their misery by asking for help. And they're walking into the world. They're walking into an understanding that the 5 and the 3 is the 8. The 8 and the 3 is again an 11 here. Ask for help, right? Because help is there. And we are maybe not as clever as some other people and who know how to accumulate money, who know how to think that they're empowered just because they have money and because they are more clever than others. But we don't have the right to actually exclude them. But find your self-worth in giving to the world what you can give, right? What you feel like giving. And then there is this 11 message coming to you again. What is the Mother Peace Tarot saying? We get the Hanged Man to the left. Now the Hanged Man to the left is actually again Neptune, right? And the Hanged Man, you see he's hanging off this tree. It's the number 12 again, and the 12 is the Neptune message that is coming in the next titles, right? So you're already seeing that Neptune is talking to you, and there is a 3. So we have a 3 message and the 5. So understand 3 times the 3. Empower yourself from your solar chakra into knowing what your worth is. Who are you? Mercury, who is the one here in the 21, right? Mercury is bringing you the message that you can be part of this world. And it's important that you are part of this world, because that's how we learn from each other. What is the Hangman bringing? It's bringing you the dilettante. And the dilettante is very interesting because the hangman is pointing over to the left, right? But usually because the hangman is hanging down, so we see the shadow side of the dilettante. The light attributes of a dilettante is delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuit. The shadow attribute of a dilettante: pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So we have all become a little bit of a dilettante, right? We learn something through a little video and we think we know the answer. Then there's others who studied for years and years and years, and we actually question if they are right. And so that's where we need to look at. And so the hangman, the three, and here the dilettante together, it's kind of letting you know, let go of that, right? That's the message. Let go of that inner insecurity that you sometimes think you have. You have to be part of the elite, part of the people that have studied, part of the people that are actually, have written papers. But the farmer who lives naturally with the land has studied for his entire life, nature as well, right? And that's what nature is saying. Observe and watch, and you can be an expert as well, right? And so this dilettante situation doesn't even have to come up, but see that you're letting go of this thinking, right, that you know something, but maybe you need to actually look a little bit deeper to see the whole context of it. And so learn that, right? And remember the 3, 3, and the 3 times the 3. Then we had here the 3, 3, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the 3. Speak from your throat chakra, because that's what is activated when we bow down, right? The throat chakra. And so this is the message from the Empress. Observe the world, see your self-worth in all of it, and know that you have help of Capricorn and of a Leo, and that you find peace within the way you think. Then we look at Taurus. Taurus is bringing you here the Hermit. That's a Virgo. That's the spiritual aspect of a Virgo, and he is giving you the light to the within. You are going back within right now, and you're learning to accept that the study goes within. But remember, when he has learned what he has learned, then he goes out into the world. So we have the 9 and the 5, which is the 14. The 14 is the blending. Blend the dualities. Know that inhale and exhale, right, is a dance. Know that you are learning that to be you through that inner learning. What is the Hermit telling you? The Hermit is bringing you the Hermit. So here, this is your deck, and of course the Hermit has its own deck, and that's Dali. And Dali shows you Luca Pacioli, who is a genius in the way he works with numbers. And so you see here also a lantern, and what's interesting, he is holding the lantern in the right hand, and here he's holding the lantern in the left. Now you see there's different schools, right? Like I said, we have the white and the red school, and so you are learning that one is within and the other one is without. One is the inhale, one is the exhale, right? That's again duality. And so you see there is a 9-9 portal now talking to you. Go within. Don't be afraid to go within. It is the beginning, but you have help through Virgo. She is letting you know you can do this, right? If someone can do it, you can do it because you're the spiritual teacher that then benefits from the message that is coming through Virgo, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and that's the magician. Now, what is then here your deck saying, and you get the 5 of stones again, and you see the difference here of these 5 of stones and these 5 of stones, right? Here they pass by the window, they're kind of like, no, we're not part of this world, right? We're different, we don't want to be like this world is terrible. But here we see the solution. She is giving that which she values the most. She's giving it freely, and that's how she breaks the spell of thinking that she is not part of this world. So you have a 5 portal coming here, and 2 times 5 is become creative in the way you see the 5 senses. Now a second card fell out, right? And it's the 3 of stones, and the 3 of stones is almost like saying work on that, right? With others, because this is Mars in Capricorn. Now what's really interesting, you had here the 4 of Pentacles, you have the 5 of Pentacles and another 5 of Pentacles. That's 14 Pentacles, right? Again, that's Temperance, and 14 and 3 Pentacles is 17 Pentacles. 17, that's Aquarius, right? Aquarius, where Pluto is now residing, 20 years in it, and you know that the message is clear. You need to work on yourself to give what is the most precious to you, so that you can find your self-worth. And that's when you go within you, learning all of that. And so in those 17 stones or pentacles, you then get 8, the strength to really figure out who you are and what it's all about. And we see in the next reading that really Capricorn is talking to you very clearly. So then I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, and we get the Moon to the left, up. The Moon to the left and up is pointing here at the 5 and the 3 of stones. I'm going to put the 3 of stones behind it, because it's interesting, right? When I don't have it here, then it's not there. But here we know it's behind it. And so here are 8 stones. Work on your self-worth. Work that you have something to give to the world, right? It's important because you are in the world. You are here, Taurus. You're part of this world. You're a fixed sign. You're important, right? You are bringing us spring, right? The stability of spring. So here the 18 is, of course, through the moon, then the 9. And what's interesting here is the moon is connected with Pisces, and Pisces and Virgo are opposite of each other. The same way you have opposite of you Scorpio, right? And that's where we're going with the full moon and the new moon. And so the moon is saying, yes, work on your self-worth. Go deep in your subconscious. Have a look what wants to come out. Have a look what you feel. And so you see a very beautiful message here, right? A 9 and here a 5. But actually there is an 8, right? And there's the 3 again. So you have 6 times the 3. You see that 6 times the 3 is, you see deep within in the third eye, the liberation through meditation, through arriving. And that's the empowerment to know when we go within, we can be in the without really strong and be that teacher. The last card, what is the moon saying? He's bringing you the horned cactus, the resourcefulness. And the resourcefulness is the 29. The 29, we get the 20, the last judgment. We get nature. Nature is there for you, right? Because you know that nature is something where we integrate it, we become it, and we live from it. And so the 9 here again through the Hermit is here, and calculated together we get the 11. So there is a portal again, an 11 portal. You had the 11 with the King of Swords as the 11 zodiac sign. And so the message is so beautiful. It's really like, wow, right? You can really sense it. You have the resourcefulness deep within. The more you go within, you see that you can do it. You can find your self-worth, right? And so the 9-9 and the 11 and here the 5-5, or then the 5-5 and the 3 is, of course, the 13. The 13, again, Scorpio, has told you, what's love got to do with it? You may ask yourself. Well, everything, right? Love yourself. That's the message. Go deep within again now the next 6 months and love yourself and find who you are. And now that you had twice, right, the Hermit, it is really, yes, go within, go and meditate, go and look at your resourcefulness. Know that you can do it. Know that you have here now the solution, right? These people are just lost. You are realizing, no, I don't want to be lost. I know that I can work on myself. I know that I can do what I have to do. You know that here the 4 and the 3 is again the emotional intelligence. That's what Capricorn bringing is to you. And you had the Queen of Pentacles, right? So you have already the message for the next reading coming very clearly. And so this is really beautiful because you did get the 33 through the young generation, right? You did get the 3 a few times, and as such you know that you are empowered by now going back within. I hope I see you in the next reading, right? We know that Capricorn has come up, so it's already talking. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.